Keith Thurman against Errol Spence. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. Hey, man, I don't know what to believe. But, I know I always heard this. Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. But when I see that it looks like this is a real thing for this fight to happen, Keith Thurman against Errol Spence, I'm gonna get up for this fight because at the end of the day, this is a great fight. You know what I'm saying? I held Errol Spence to his word when he said I never fight Keith Thurman. I say, yo, since you say that, then I don't want to ever see you fight Keith Thurman. But it's predicated, if that's the right word. I'm not good with using these words. I don't know about that. I don't have a damn dictionary in front of me. If it's predicated, it was predicated on the fact of him not fighting Terrence Bud Crawford. If I would have seen Errol Spence duck Terrence Bud Crawford to fight Keith Thurman, then I said I don't ever want to see that fight. But that's not the circumstances in this situation. So with the way it played out, Errol Spence fighting Keith Thurman it sounds like a great fight to me. I would prefer Errol Spence to fight Boots. That's just on some warrior shit to me. That's on some gladiator warrior shit to me, because it really ain't got nothing to do with the money and the boxing thing. Is because that's a sleeper fight. A lot of people gonna oh, let me see this, but some people just don't know nothing about boxing, and some people don't know shit about Errol Spence, and then definitely even less people know about who Jerron Boots Ennis is. They just don't. You know what I'm saying? Jerron Boots Ennis, Jerron Boots Ennis, and a couple other people can stand up in a damn lineup, and they wouldn't be able to tell none of us apart. We about the same height. I'm a little bit big. If he's not in fighting shape, Jerron Boots Ennis probably walking around. What is he fighting? 147. So he probably walking around high 170s right now. I'm like $190. You know what I'm saying? You put us in the room, people wouldn't even be able to tell us apart. They just be like, you know what they'll be like. Say less, right? But my thing is this: people don't know who Jerron Boots Ennis is, and not a lot of people know who really Errol Spence is. Nobody hardly know what any boxer is if it ain't Canelo. I think Deontay Wilder garners a big. He's Tyson Fury, AJ. Just boxing. Boxing is not a big sport like it used to be. So I don't care who it is. Now my point is this: Keith Thurman has a gift of gab. He got a silver tongue. He can spin gold. Keith Thurman, he's going to pull in from the audience. So many people are going to be tuned in to this fight because of Keith Thurman's ability to have the gift of gab. It is what the fuck it is. Errol Spence doesn't necessarily have the gift of gab, but if you savvy to his personality, low key, he's smart than a motherfucker. Terrence Bud Crawford is smart too, but Errol Spence is kind of what they call like he's whippy. He has the wit. He might say some shit fast, but he don't put a lot of emphasis on it. It's nonchalant, so it'll just fall on deaf ears. But if you listen to what he's saying, he usually says some real fucking clever shit that shuts up a big mouth. Because sometimes a big mouth from the South or something like that can talk a whole lot, but they ain't saying nothing, but they got the gift of gab. People just mesmerized by the cadence. But then a motherfucker that's like more like myself won't say a whole lot and not a lot of razzle dazzle, but I say some shit that'll cut right through that. But a lot of people won't even hear it. It'll be like it'll go over their head or go on deaf ears because I don't have a lot of panache when I say what I say. Errol Spence don't have a lot of panache when he talk the way he talk. He got that southern drawl. He say shit all like sleepy and shit. So a lot of people not even listening to him. They just hearing the vibration of his voice and they ain't saying shit that he ain't even saying nothing. But if you listen to what he say, that man got a lot of intelligence off the rip for a boxer especially. And I give Terrence Bud Crawford his credit too. I don't think he is as sharp or as witty as Errol Spence, but you can tell he puts thought into what he says. So when he says something, it does have some meaning behind it. You know what I'm saying? And there's a difference. But Errol Spence, I done seen him have little back and forths and tit for tat, and he'll usually say some real slick shit, but it's very nonchalant. My point is this: with Keith Thurman is right in your face. He's loud. He got that lisp, but he just talk 1,000 miles per hour. And when you can throw a big net like that, you can cast in a lot of fish. You ain't gonna be able to cast in the big fish, but you'll be able to cast in a lot of people that listen and get interested. Because who is this guy who only lost to Manny Pacquiao? He only lost to Manny Pacquiao. He rearranged the face of the El Azteca warrior Mario Barrios. He beat Danny Garcia. He beat Sean Porter. He beat Jose Zito Lopez. His record and his resume is more impressive to a certain extent. Who he's fought, take away that loss of Manny Pacquiao, his resume is more impressive than Errol Spence and Bud's, and definitely more impressive than Boots. He only got Delorme, Cassius Clayton, and what's the other dude I think he fought? I only think he fought, was it Lipinets? I can't remember. But he don't have a padded resume, Boots. Boots just has the boxing eye test to show you this dude is young, fast, pedigree of a boxing family, can switch it, power in both hands, flashy, defense. He got a total package, but he doesn't have the resume. He hasn't had the time to build up, you know what I'm saying, a huge, he's just not completely put together. You know what I'm saying? He's missing some important elements and components. But some of us who know, we know. So if we seen Errol Spence fight him, we'd be like, man, you can't do nothing but salute that. This dude is the future. You fight in the future. We dinosaurs, or this guy is in his 30s, and he's almost on the other side of his career, and he's still fighting the up and coming hungry dogs who just, you know, ain't got no war. They not war torn. They don't have a lot of injuries. They ain't took no damage. You talking about a freshly built tank coming off the assembly line, going up against something that's been in war a couple of times, that then been hit and blown up and put back together. But everybody don't know all of these things. So that's not going to resonate with everybody. Keith Thurman is going to resonate with everybody. We don't care about the bone spurs. We don't care about his layoffs. We don't care about him getting married and getting kind of soft around the edges and playing his flute. They don't know about him having the long hair and cutting his hair down to this, you know what I'm saying, he's like Samson. When Samson cut his hair, a lot of people not gonna know that. He just gonna talk so much and get so much attention that everybody gonna want to see him fight against Errol Spence. It's a bigger fight against somebody that is mastered the ability of what they call promoting. You fighting against somebody that's mastered promotion. That's like Mayweather fighting Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is going to garner all this attention, and you can just sit back and train and get ready for the fight. So we're going to see Keith Thurman for the last time be one time on the microphone and then go in there and get... We'll talk about that later. Salute, salute, salute.